So I am filming this on a Saturday morning as a somewhat emergency type video. I've been getting bombarded with questions on Instagram and in the YouTube comments about the $1,200 stimulus check that many of us are going to be getting. So I'm going to be answering the three most common questions I've been getting, which are whether or not you have to pay taxes on this money, second of all, how they are determining whether or not you are eligible for the credit, and third and finally, how are they actually sending you this money? Because the truth is, guys, if your information is not current with the IRS, there could be delays with your payments, and depending on what tax year they are using for determining eligibility, you may be eligible for the full payment, a partial payment, or no payment at all. So stick around to the end of this video, guys, if you want to see the answers to those three questions. So yesterday, a $2 trillion stimulus bill was passed in response to a virus that shall not be named so that this video does not get demonetized. And as part of that bill, they have officially passed direct payments to Americans, which should arrive within 3 weeks. And that includes payments of up to $1,200 for single filers and $2,400 for married filers, plus $500 per dependent or child. But there is a catch here, and that is the fact that if you earn more than $75,000 per year or $150,000 as a married couple filing jointly, that $1,200 check begins to diminish. And the credit is entirely phased out at the $99,000 mark for single filers or $198,000 for married filing jointly. And if you guys are curious how much your check should be, I'm going to put a link down below. CNBC has a pretty handy calculator on their website where you put in this information and it will tell you what your rebate check should be. So for example, if you are a single person with no kids earning $85,000, you will be getting a check for $700. But first of all, let's talk about whether or not you have to pay taxes on the stimulus checks being sent out. And the short answer here, guys, is no, you do not have to pay taxes on this money because it is considered to be a recovery rebate. The only situation you might run into here with this tax rebate is filing your 2020 taxes in the year 2021, because you don't have to pay taxes on this income, but you do have to include it on your tax return to make sure you got the correct credit. And if you got a larger credit than you should have, you will likely not have to pay it back. And this is according to Nicole Kading, who is the vice president of the National Taxpayers Union Association. So if they end up sending you too much money, there is a chance that you may have to pay some of it back, but it is unlikely that you will have to do so. Next up, this is one of the most important parts here, and this is determining eligibility for the credits. How are they going to determine how much income you have made? Well, it is going to be based on your most recent tax filing. So if you already filed your taxes for 2019, they're going to use the number on that tax return. However, if you have not filed your taxes yet, you may be at an advantage here where you can use either your 2018 return or your 2019 return, whichever one is a lesser earnings. And let me explain a scenario where you might want to do this. So let's say in 2018 you made $70,000, and then in 2019 you got a promotion and you made $85,000. Well, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, you should hold off and have the stimulus check based on your 2018 earnings. That way you get the full check. Whereas if they go off of your 2019 income of $85,000, you would only get $700. So if your earnings jumped in 2019 and put you over that threshold and you haven't filed your taxes, you should hold off for a couple of weeks to get a larger check. Now the second scenario is the exact opposite. Let's say, for example, you made a boatload of money in 2018 and then in 2019 you got laid off. If you haven't filed your taxes yet, you should file ASAP, especially if you are over the threshold for 2018, but you fall within it or below it for 2019, meaning you could get a partial or full credit. For example, if you made $100,000 in 2018, you would be ineligible for this credit. But if in 2019 you made $65,000, you are eligible for the whole credit. So this person would want to file their taxes as soon as possible in order to be eligible for that credit, to make sure they are not basing it off of your 2018 tax return. And then lastly, how do you actually receive the money? Well, it is helicopter money, but it's not going to come falling from the sky. They are going to give it to you based on your payment preference from your most recent tax return. So if you signed up for direct deposit, it will be direct deposited into whatever bank account you received your most recent tax refund. However, if you get a check mailed to you, it's going to be mailed wherever your last check was mailed from your previous tax return. And this is very important because if you have moved since you filed your last tax return, you need to fill out Form 8822, which is a change of address form with the IRS ASAP, and I'll drop a link to that down in the description below if this is the case. Or another option is filing your taxes for 2019 gives you another opportunity to update this information and have your current address with the IRS, as long as your 2019 earnings don't push you above that limit. So there you have it, guys. Those are the answers to the 3 most common questions I've been getting about the $1,200 stimulus bill. And if you enjoyed this video and this kind of emergency upload here on a Saturday, all that I ask is that you drop a like on this video to show your support. So in a nutshell, since this is a rebate, you do not have to pay taxes on it. The only situation where you may run into paying it back is if your 2020 income pushes you above the credit you were supposed to receive. That is an unknown right now. And eligibility and the amount you receive is based on your most recent tax filing, which is 2018 or 2019. So if you haven't filed your taxes, you do potentially have some wiggle room here. And lastly, they're going to pay you based on the way they sent you your last tax return, so you may need to file your taxes to get that information updated or fill out a change of address form if you have moved. But thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope it helped out and answered your questions. If you have any other thoughts for future videos, drop them in the comments section below, and I hope to see you in the next video.